broken things can become a blessing if you let God do the mending. Welcome to Broken to be Blessed Network, where dynamic women will share their experiences that will inspire, and experiences that have turned out to be a blessing. Now here's your host, Samantha McNeil.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again. I'm so happy to have you tuning in to Broken to be Blessed Network. Thank you for subscribing, for watching, for tuning in. And remember to tell somebody because you're building a great network over there. Yes. Broken things can become a blessing if you let God do the mending. Today I have with me yet another wonderful, awesome, fabulous, oh yes, woman. And you're gonna know that she owns the name Fabulous. Yes, I tell you. Are you ready? I am.
Joining us on set today is Mickesha Gardner, a 31-year-old who is vibrant, jovial, caring, selfless, and God-fearing. She strives for greatness and believes that the only competition is herself. She's also striving to be the best version of herself and is always seeking ways to elevate her life. Mickesha was born and raised in a small community called Shaw Castle. She attended Malden Basic, Malden Primary, and Malden High School. After graduating from high school in 2007, she got her first job as an office administrator. But after working for some years, she decided to enroll in college to better herself and break generational curses. She was enrolled in Sam Sharp Teachers College and she majored in primary education. After which, she got pregnant with her beautiful daughter, Ariana. As a single mother, she still wanted more, and she decided to migrate to the United States of America. I guess today you'll hear all about her journey. Help us welcome to Broken to be Blessed Network, Mickesha Gardner.
Hello, Mickesha. How are you doing?
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Samantha McNeil, for having me here tonight. It's an absolute pleasure. And I'm just here to enjoy the night, share my journey, and be great.
Awesome. I'm so happy to have you too sharing with us. Awesome. So, as you heard in Mickesha's introduction, she's vibrant. And I know that she's vibrant. As you mentioned, she goes by the name and the code, the real Mickey Fab. I told you. Yes. So how was your day, Mickey Fab?
Actually, I had an hectic day, but you know what? I survived. Thank God for that.
Awesome, awesome. How is your daughter? How is it going?
She's great. She's being her self. She's 10, but she acts as if she's a little teenager, but she's great.
Awesome, awesome. What do you do for fun?
Well, post the COVID, we normally go to the movies, adventure parks, any little outings, dinner. Other than that, I just stay home, lay in bed on my phone.
Okay, all right. What's your favorite food?
Curry chicken and white rice.
Oh, she's a curry chicken girl.
Yes.
All right, nice and just awesome. So we have gotten to know Mickesha a little bit more, and we are ready for our journey. As you heard in our introduction, that she always wants more, and
Yes.
she strives for excellence. Hence, she migrated to the United States. You have heard in her introduction some part of her journey as to where she has been, her small community, and all of that. And I'm just going to allow her to tell us all about it. Over to you, Mickesha.
Thank you so much. Well, where do I start? I grew up in a small community. Well, I was born in Castle. I then moved to Malden, um, where I was living with my mom. She was also a single mom. We didn't have much, but we were happy. Um, from an earlier age, I learned responsibilities because my mom wanted me to do my own laundry, clean the house, wash the dishes whenever she's out doing work. I had was to fix food. You know, my food is like you fry a little plantain and a little egg on there or so. But from an earlier age, I learned responsibility, and based on where I saw my mom and how hard she worked, I always tell myself that I needed better. You know, she made the best of what she had, but I knew I needed more for myself. So when I graduated from Mullen High School in 2007, I didn't sit around. I got a job, my first job at a lawyer's firm. Um, but for me, I wanted more. So after, I think it was 2 years, because I started 2007, and then I decided that I needed to go to college. So in 2009, I enrolled in Sam Sharp Teachers College. I did my 3 years. However, after my first year, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. But thanks be to God, I was allowed to continue. So I completed my 3 years. So I'm a trained teacher. Um, Life happens, and I became a single mom. Not that I had asked for it, but it happened. So knowing the person that I am, I took my responsibility, I took my duties, and I do it to the best of my ability. So when I left Sam Sharp Teachers College, I didn't get a teaching position at the time. I was in a call center. Now I'm always striving for better. So whenever I start to become uncomfortable, I know it's time for me to elevate. It's time for me to move. It's time for me to go and get better. So I graduated 2012. I started working right away because I don't like sitting down. I like my own. I like to feel that sense of independency. So I always on the go, keep going for better. Now in 2015, while I was at the call center, I decided like I need more. I need more. I need to break generational curses. I need to be full on successful because I'm not just living for myself anymore. I am living for my daughter, and she didn't ask to be here. And I want the best for her. So I took a big risk because going into a whole new country, don't have anyone, but still going because you heard it's the land of opportunity and you want better. I made one of the biggest decisions ever was to leave her behind. She was around 1 going on to 2 when I left her. She was born in 2011. I left in 2015. I'm trying to remember how old she was when I was leaving, but she was born in 2011. I left March of 2015, and I went to the US. I had little to no plan at all on how I would survive. I know I reached out to a friend, a family friend of mine, and I said, hey, listen, I want to come there for 2 weeks. I had my plans knowing that it's going to be more than 2 weeks, but I just say I want to come there for 2 weeks. They said, okay, you can stay there for 2 weeks. A family friend of mine had recommended an agency. So, I would come up and start working at the time. So that's how I reached to the US. So after I arrived in the US March of 2015, I was staying with family members, but because I know how I am, I like my own space. I like to do my own thing. So June of 2015, I decided that, hey, listen, I'm gonna branch out. So I'm always researching. So I found this apartment. It was a basement. So for those who are living in America, no basement. Some basements are iron basements. Some basements are like a rough. So I found a little rough one where I was paying $150 weekly. So I didn't have any furniture or anything. So they had their own furniture. So that's how I started out. Now, by now, you must know that I don't stay in one situation too long. I'm constantly trying to elevate myself. I'm constantly trying to be better. So then I think it was because I moved in 2015, 2016. I said I have to figure out a way, because at this time I don't have any documents, and I'm not gonna go too much in that, but I was undocumented here. I didn't came here illegally because I had my visiting visa, but I became undocumented because I overstayed. No, I said you can't be comfortable. You have to remember you have a child, so you have to figure out a way how to start yourself out and to get your child here with you, because during those times I wasn't fully comfortable because my daughter was all the way in Jamaica and I was here in the US. My mom did an absolute incredible job taking care of her, but still I needed her to be here with me. When in 2016, I did another research and I find a little more upgraded basement. This time I was paying $600 monthly. And I said, but you know what's funny about these transitions? I'm always happy. Whenever I move from one stage to a next, no matter how small it is, I'm always happy, and I say, yes, Jesus, I got this and I'm good. I'm just constantly rejoicing on my next move. So when I moved to that $600 monthly basement, it was a little more upgraded. I was alone there. I wasn't sharing with anybody. But then in 2017, because I got married in 2016 and I filed for myself and my daughter. So 2017, I started to get the letters to say that, hey, her process started to speed up. And I'm like, God, I cannot bring my child here and bring her in this condition. I need another change. And if you know me, I'm constantly praying. I'm constantly talking to God. And I remember I said, I don't want 2018 to catch me in this basement. I need a 2-bedroom, because you have to be specific in your prayer, be specific in your asking. And I said, God, I need a 2-bedroom because I don't want my daughter to be in the same room as I am. I want her to have her own space. And I remember December came and I'm like, Lord, the year is almost done. What is going on? You're not going to let me get this apartment. I need it, I need it, and I need it. And I am an overthinker, and I always think myself into depression. And because I want the best for myself and for my daughter, I'm like, this is not it. And then I go into depression mode. And I remember it was the Christmas Eve, and I kid you not, I bawled my eyes out. I bawled. And this friend of mine, it has to be God. She messaged me on Facebook, hey, what's up, Fab? Because she calls me Fab. And I remember I said, hey, what's up? You good? And we're there talking. I said, I'm looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. You don't know any? And she said, girl, my auntie just purchased a house. Let me find out if she rents out the bottom, because I know she was looking somebody to rent it. And I keep my fingers crossed. And she called me back the same night and said, yes, it's available. Can you come and view it tomorrow? And people, even though I was looking, I know the rent is going to be sky high. I don't have the money, but I still looking. And when the lady said to me, it's $1,400 monthly So, you know, when you're renting, you have to have a month in advance. So I was to pay 2,800. I said, Jesus, me not have it. What me I gonna do? And I went to work the next day after I view it. And I said to my boss, because I don't like begging and I don't like asking for favor. But I said, sometimes you have to put your pride aside and go out there and ask for what you want. And I remember I went to my boss and I said, can you give me 3 weeks in advance pay? She looked at me from 82 like I was crazy. And she said, you planning on running away, leave me? I said, no, I would never do that. I am renting an apartment because my daughter is coming. And I explained the situation to her. And she said, let me talk to my husband and see what he says about it. Fingers crossed again. And I prayed on it. The next morning I went in and they sat me down and they said, listen, we're going to give it to you, but it's under this condition. So because they wanted to know I'm just not going to take their money and run away. And that's how I get the $2,800 to pay down. If you're following my story, both times I rented, it was the landlord's furniture. I don't want a bed. I don't want dresser, nothing. But my 2 pieces of clothes for my back. That's it. So I went into the empty house. It's a good thing I had some sheets and comforter. So that was my bed since January. So again, even though I didn't have a bed, I didn't have furniture, I was happy because God provided what I had asked for. And I remember receiving a letter. So I moved in January. And I think it was May. I don't want to tell a lie, but April. And I'm like, God, I'm still on the floor. My daughter is almost here. I need furniture. Like, you have to show me something. You have to help me get furniture. I don't have money like that to like just go and buy a whole bedroom set. So show me a sign. And I normally go to the gym. I know I'm a bit fluffy now because but I know listen, quarantine is getting everybody. Listen. But I remember I normally go to the gym because I was free. I had time on my hands. So I used to go to the gym and work out. And one evening I got off the bus. And it's funny because I normally get off that stop every evening. And this evening I just saw the furniture place right in my eyes. And I just walked straight in there. When I went in there, I saw they said $0 down and you can pay this and get the furniture. But knowing me again, I don't like to borrow. I don't like none of that. And I remember when courts did come back for my mother furniture, I didn't want that happen to me in foreign. So I talked to the owner and I said, listen, can I pay you weekly until I'm finished paying? Then you bring the furniture to me. He said, we don't normally do that, but I'm going to do it. So I said, fine, perfect. And every week I get my pay, I bring it and I pay down. And I didn't start furniture in my room, you know. I start my daughter. I can continue to sleep on the floor just in case I don't reach there. But the grace of God allowed me to not just furnish my daughter's room, but I was able to furnish my room, the living room, and the bathroom. The house itself had stove and fridge. But I'm just saying this to say because a lot of times we allow fear to cripple us. And if a lot of my decision and choices I had not made, I wouldn't have been where I am today. And I remember because I know she liked her fancy and pretty stuff, so I gave her pink curtains and just fancy it up for her. And on the 29th of July 2018, I went to the airport for my child. It was one of the happiest moments of my life, just reuniting with her after 2 years, because still at this point, even though she got her green card, I didn't get anything. Don't ask me, oh, ask the government. but I didn't get anything. And I'm like, even though I didn't had anything at that time, I was super happy because I'm like, yes, God, you made it possible for my daughter to be here. She came and she settled very well. And if you know how the US is, it's hard to get a good school to place your child. And I'm constantly on Google, so let Google be your best friend. And I remember I found this school because I wanted it close to my job, because remember, I'm a single mom. When my daughter is here, it's just gonna be her and I. And I Googled a charter school and I called them and I told them my daughter is gonna come, but she's not here yet. Can I apply? They said no, she has to be here first. So whenever she comes, just bring her. If there's a spot, they will take her. I said, God, I'm going in and I'm going in your grace and I'm going in your faith. And I went. And after I went, no hiccups, nothing like that. My daughter came here July 29th and she started school September. So she wasn't here for a while out of school. She went straight into school, and only the goodness of God could have done that, because I know of people who kids came and had to sit out for a while because they can't find placement. So I consider myself truly blessed. God constantly favors me, and for that I am always thankful. And sometimes I think my landlord think I'm crazy down here, because sometimes I just start bella out, bawling, not because I'm sad, but because I'm grateful and because I'm thankful. No market, even though my daughter is here and everything is going for her, I still nothing not going for me. So I'm like, God, what's going on? You tell me that it was after 5 years you're going to, because I might sound crazy, but I have this connection with God. He tells me things. And he had told me that I'm not going to get anything until after 5 years. And again, it was coming into December. And I'm like, I only get my work permits. I don't get any green cards. Or am I going to go home? And it's funny, because let me tell you something. Sometimes our blessings come, but because it doesn't come in the way we want it, we let it slide. Let me tell you, I start bawling my eyes out again, because I'm a big thinker, and when I start going to depression, it's nothing nice. And I said, God, you promised that I was going to get to go home to my family for Christmas. And I still haven't gotten my green card because they haven't scheduled my interview as yet. And I put myself in a depression. And I went to work, I think a week after the Monday, because the Christmas would have been the Friday. And I went to work the Monday, and I was so out of it. I was just so depressed. I was just on the verge of giving up. And I'm not a person to give up. And when I tell you I was on the verge of giving up, just don't care about anything anymore, that's where I was. And I started praying, because whenever the Spirit comes over me, I can't help myself. I just have to start praying. I just have to start giving thanks. And I started praying, and I said, God, you promised that you would have given me the opportunity to go home. Why isn't it that you have given me my green card? I texted my lawyer and I said, I want to go home. Is the interview any closer? Did you check to see if anything updated or what? He said to me, but you can go home. You got your work permit, right? Go home. And I'm like, but I might not be able to come up. He said, who tell you that? That's a reason why they give you. Are you a criminal? You do anything wrong here? Go on home to your family and come back. And I said, Lord, I still, the fear hanging over my head. And then I'm looking at it like I've been here for a while. And if I come to Jamaica and not be able to go back home, people are going to talk about me and chastise me and all that thing. And I'm like, Father, show me a sign if I'm supposed to go down. Just show me a sign. And I kid you not, when I went home, because I'm a game player, I love to play games. So I was on my phone and I was playing the game. And I remember, because normally my game, you have ads, so they play ads after a while. You're playing, and an ad come on with Delta Airline. I don't know how, but it came on, and I click on it, and it just prompts me until it says, "Click here to speak with a customer service representative," or whatever. This was the Monday. The Christmas would have been Friday, and I spoke to a lady, and I said, "I need 2 tickets." I don't know what I was doing. I just said, "I need 2 tickets. I'm going to Jamaica. I need 2 tickets." The lady said, "When you're planning on traveling?" I said, "I think Christmas." She said, "You think?" I said, "Christmas." I'm doing it, but I'm not sure. You know, like you're stepping out on a thin branch. You don't know if you're going to break, but you're stepping out. I remember she told me the balance, and I scratched my head a little bit, and I said, "God, you're going to," in my mind, I said, "God, you're going to make me pay this amount of money for go to Jamaica and can't come back." And I gave her my card, and she confirmed the flight and everything. I went on my job COVID app, and I applied for the authorization. I got approved. And during these steps, I'm saying, "God, if I'm not supposed to go, if any barrier will prevent me from coming back, let them decline it or not approve it or things." And a peer approve, go on. So I said, okay. And I remember they told me to do the COVID test. So because it was the Monday, back when I was doing it, it was 14 days. So you had was to get the COVID test like 7 days prior. It was less
This
than,
was last December.
yes,
Okay.
2020. Just this, right this up.
Yes.
This is how long I have been waiting. And let me tell you, before I go any further, like during these wait, there was a lot of lessons learned. So sometimes God allows us to wait because He's trying to teach us something. So sometimes we don't understand, but you have to go deep to find out what is the lessons behind my waiting. What is the lessons behind God preventing me from having this right now? And I went and I did the COVID test. I had was to pay for Express. My daughter didn't have to do any. Thank God for that. And I remember when I was going through the airport, I was so nervous. Even though my lawyer prepped me and told me what to expect, he had told me they were not gonna bother me when I was going down. Is when I was coming back, they were just gonna ask me 2 questions and send me on my merry way. But the human in me just wasn't having it. I'm nervous and nervous and nervous and nervous and nervous and nervous. When I tell you I'm nervous, but I went, and I had was to go on that trip because when I went, I don't know how to explain it, but just to see the joy on my mother's face and the difference in atmosphere and everything, and I get to see certain things that my mother was talking to me about. I won't go in depth, but the reality kicked in, and I was like, "God, thank you." And even though I went for 8 days, those 8 days I was having fun and I was relaxed. But in the back of my head, I was like, "Will they allow me back in?" And I remember when I was coming in, they didn't trouble me in Jamaica through immigration. When I was coming back, when I reached in New York, that's when the lady pulled me into a room. And I was like, okay, this is probably what my lawyer is talking to me about. But I just looked to God and I was like, "I know you're not going to forsake me. And I know you're not going to leave me. Help me be calm." And I kid you not, I was so calm. Even when my daughter was there poking me, "Mommy, why are we in this room? Mommy, why they take your passport? Mommy," I was just so calm. And he called me to the desk after the other immigration officer gave him my passport. He called me and he asked me if I'm adjusting my status and if I should verify my address, and that was it. I was back in New York. So sometimes we have to get over our fears. We have to just step out there, and we have to take risk, because coming here in America in the first place was a risk. But I am happy because I have gained, it might not seem much to others, but it's a lot for me. Just the mere fact that I have a roof over my head and a job, I am grateful. I started out in my career as a teacher. Now I'm in the nursing field. So it's no limit for me. And I have started out and I've reached far, but I have further to go. And I know I am going to be great because God told me so.
Awesome, I tell you. Awesome, I tell you. She has come far and she's going to go further. And she knows
Yes,
she's going to be great because God told her so. Awesome, awesome. It's a journey, and I know that it's a journey that I know you might find other persons um, are on, and maybe never heard somebody sharing how they have been through. Before we go though, I'm gonna have you just encouraging someone, pour into someone's spirit who might be in your journey right now. They wanted more, they wanted a different life, they took that big step, left the children back home, and the struggle. Sometimes some might not have where to leave them.
yes,
Or some they might leave them with somebody who didn't work out that to move, and that is might be stressing right now.
yes,
And they don't know when they're gonna get to see their child. You have been there, you know how it feels.
yes,
So you are one of the ones that is perfect to talk to persons who are on that journey too.
yes.
So I'm gonna let you just encourage them and pour into someone's spirit.
You know, you saying that gives me chill because I know it's not easy. It is not. I know you have technology where you can video call them and you can talk to them, but it's not the same like having them at your foot. And especially if you're a mother or even a father that wants the best for your children, you know that no one, even though they might be in good care, no one will give them the care that you, as a mother or a father, would have given them. So, my little 2 cents to whomever is going through whatever they're going through, take time to understand who you are and what you want. When you understand who you are and what you want, you will go towards it, you will work towards it. Sometimes we feel like we will not be able to do it on our own. But to be honest, sometimes all we need is God. All we need is that superior being to talk to, put it out there in the universe. And I don't know if this works for you, but this is what works for me. I have a journal, or I have a vision board where I write down whatever I want. I go on the internet, I cut out things of what I want, and I pray on it. I just not pray on it, but I tell God to show me the way, bring me to people that will allow me to reach my goals. It might be sounding cliche, but sometimes we have to get rid of people in our circles, people that are taking up space and not allowing us to grow or to be the best version of ourselves. For me, I had the best time I could focus was by myself. So if you were listening, I had was to remove myself from who I came here too, and I went on my own. My journey is different from everyone else. You have to know your journey. And again, you have to pray. Don't be afraid to ask God for what you want. Don't just say, God, I want to be successful. Be specific. If you want your children, pray and ask God to put you in the position, to put you amongst people to allow you to get your children or your child. You might wait. And let me tell you, while you're waiting, it might seem like it's never ending, like there's no hope. But there is. Find out why you're waiting, and during those wait, work on you. If you have to try get an apartment or even get a house, do that. But in your wait, prepare yourself. Because until you prepare yourself, you cannot receive your blessings. And it might sound like you can say it because you have gone past it. Yes, I've gone past it, but this is what happened. If I didn't clean my room, and I don't mean literally clean my room, but get myself together, affirming myself, speaking life into myself, I wouldn't acquire all that I did. My daughter would not have been here. So sometimes you have to go out there. You have to get out of your circle. You have to find people. You might not have money to get a lawyer, but you have people, the internet. The internet is a powerful tool. Do your research. Find people that have the correct information and do it. Because there's always a way out. There is always. And I know the road is not easy, but let me tell you, just hold on a little longer. Just a little longer. Because there's this song, the sweeter the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. And it might not make sense right now, but trust and believe that at the end goal, it will make perfect sense. So continue to hold on. If you have to shift a couple things, if you have to move from the environment that you're in, if you have to even change and get a different, whatever you have to do, make sure it is honest and it is true in God's will. And sometimes what we want, God may not want it for us. So that you have to talk to him about and find out. Because we all have truth, we all have purpose. We were not placed here on earth to be basic. So we have to find our true purpose and work towards that.
Awesome, awesome, I tell you. And before we go, we just want to know, after that travel and and God showed up and it was just a few questions and you are now back into the States. Have you, as the process continued, have you been successful with getting your green card or your residency?
How can I leave that part out? Yes, and it was so funny. Let me tell you, because I could have stopped myself in December in depression and all that and didn't go to Jamaica and enjoy that little stay. It so worked out that as soon as I get here, because I returned to the US the 2nd of January, and on the 7th of January, I got an update to say that my interview was scheduled. I went on the interview February. I don't remember the exact date, but I got my green card in hand. I can't forget that date, the 27th of February, 2021.
Awesome.
So again, let me tell you something. And listen, if you see this big smile, you just know that, listen, keep your eyes open. Because sometimes our package is not wrapped in the gift paper that we want it to be wrapped in, and we look past it. So I don't know how to explain it, but even walking down the street, take little lessons from here and there, because God constantly shows signs. You might be wondering how this is not happening. Check again, because it probably happened a long time ago and you look past it. So sometimes, and it sounds very easy to do, but knowing the human in us, it's not easy. So instead of worrying, pray. There's Celeste in praying. And if you have a connection with God, even if you don't know how to pray, just as how I am talking, talk to him. Tell him, you promised me this. What's going on? Why I don't have it yet? Boss him up. Yes, he wants you to boss him up. You promised me this. You tell me you will never fail me. You never forsake me. Why this is not happening? And never give up. If you know your pathway and know what you want in life, and you're working towards it, and it seems as if nothing is happening, check yourself. Check yourself, because it might be happening in a different way, and you're bypassing it because you're stuck in your way, and you're not. It doesn't seem as if it's going your way. But sometimes what you think is best for you, God think otherwise. So just be keen and be meek, and just allow God to work in your life. But yes, I got my 10 here.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. To God be the glory, great things he has done and
Amen.
continues to do.
Amen.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your story with us. Welcome to the Blessed Network. Go ahead.
Just one more thing to all my single mothers out there, because I am battling in accepting being a single mom. I'm doing an amazing job, but sometimes being a single mom, I don't know how to put it, but it's hard. You might be able to financially take care of your child, give your child whatever, but the father side of it, you can't. You reached out, you try every other means, but it's just not connecting. Don't be hard on yourself. Do your part, pray about it, and talk to your children, talk to your child. Be honest with your children. Kids are very smart. Don't lie to them. Don't talk bad about, if you're a single father, don't talk bad about them. Don't talk bad about the mother to them. And if you're a single mother, don't talk bad about the father to them. I am still going through the process of accepting what is. But it's hard because sometimes my daughter understands, but sometimes she doesn't. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your child. Pray about it. Because God never, and I can tell you, never put you through something that he's not going to take you out of. So just keep being that good mother. Keep being that good father to your child in spite of the shortcomings or comings of the other party. I just felt the need to get that. I don't know who needs to hear it, but if you're struggling with that, and oftentimes it's hard not to take it out on the child, but remember, they didn't ask to be here. So do your part and do it well, because they might not appreciate it now, but you best believe in the future they will. So just hang in there. Whatever your situation is, whatever it is at all that you're going through, it's not the end. And We all know diamonds, you don't just get diamonds like that. The process to which it goes through to become so beautiful, it's harsh. So in order for you to be successful, you have to go through uncomfortable stages in your life. You have to cry some tears. You have to fight some battles. You have to go through it. So stop dodging the process. Go through it. There's no shortcut to life in being successful. Go through it. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much for sharing and for empowering and inspiring us on Broken to be Blessed Network. Thank you again. Thank you again, viewers. Thank you again for tuning in all the time. Remember to share with someone because you're building a great network over here. And if you have not yet subscribed, I know you watch.
Oh, yes.
I know that there are a lot of you who watch.
Yes.
If I find the link and you watch, but also make sure that you subscribe. Also, Nikki Fab, she have her YouTube channel, The Real Nikki Fab. You can go over and watch her, and she's full of excitement. A whole lot of vim and vitality. So you can check her out on YouTube too. All right. Thank you again, and have yourself a blessed day, blessed evening, a blessed afternoon, whatever time it is.